Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary. It is Saturday, March the 2nd. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is not a game day for the Vancouver Canucks. They are still in Las Vegas, awaiting their Sunday matinee game against the Golden Knights tomorrow. We know that the Canucks are coming off that disappointing loss to Arizona on Thursday night, which was a night after a disappointing loss to Colorado the previous night. So, alas, the Canucks are falling out of the playoff picture. They still have a mathematical chance, but as I mentioned, realistically, it's not looking good. But maybe ironically or appropriately, we received an email, and this is what I want to talk about today. We received an email from the Canucks leadership team, and that's what it was called, a message from your Canucks leadership team. And it was signed by Bo Horvat, Chris Tanev, Alex Edler, and Brandon Sutter. And it was basically a letter that accompanied details for our renewal for our season tickets with the Vancouver Canucks. And usually it's a message from Jim Benning, or most recently it's been from Trevor Linden a lot. So this one was signed by the players. And it doesn't matter who wrote it or who wordsmithed it or whatever, who edited it or proofread it, whatever it may be, who composed it originally. This is what the message was that went out to all season ticket members. So I wanted to read it to you here and then give a chance for you guys to comment below. So here it is. It's an exciting time to play for the Vancouver Canucks. It's a new era for our team, and there's a feeling of optimism in the dressing room that we haven't felt in years. Based on the atmosphere at Rogers Arena, we're guessing you feel it too. We're back in the hunt, and it's going to be fun to see how we measure up down the stretch. We're a young team that's building confidence every shift, using each game as an opportunity to learn what it takes to win. The whole team is buying in, and it's exciting getting to play in these meaningful games. We also know this is just the beginning. Jim and Travis have a long-term plan in place, and this team is on the right path. The momentum is real, and the future is very bright. On behalf of all the players, thank you for your incredible support. Whether you're new or you have been with us for years, you are our home ice advantage. You make it special to represent Vancouver and to put on the jersey. We're committed to playing our hearts out for you each and every night, and we can't wait for the many exciting years to come. Details about next season will be coming soon. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you at the rink next year. Your leadership team, Bo Horvat, Alex Edler, Brandon Sutter, and Chris Tanev. So that is the 5-paragraph letter that went out to season ticket members as we start to the process for renewing for next season. And we know that next season is going to be a very exciting season. It's the 50th anniversary celebrations. Canucks came into the league in 1970-71, and next year is the start, technically it'll be the tail end of the 50th year. It'll be the 2019-2020 season. But we know there's going to be, they're going to wear the throwback jerseys, the retro jerseys for some of the as an alternate jersey for the year, which is pretty cool. I think the black spaghetti one is the one that ended up winning, so that's kind of cool. We know that they are going to retire the Sedin's jerseys at some time during the season, and I'm sure there's many other things that will come, many other exciting announcements to come. So that's basically a couple of the things that we can look forward to during the 50th season, as I check the video settings here real quick. All right, so that's a letter that came out, and I thought it was fine. Like I said, it doesn't matter who wrote it or who ultimately who penned it, but I thought it struck the right nerve, hit the right chord, so to speak. It talked about the excitement in the arena, the excitement on the ice, the fact that this is a process, that is just the beginning, that there is a long-term plan put in trace by Jim Benning, and Travis Green, and that the players are appreciative of the fans. So there's nothing in here that's earth-shattering. There's nothing in here that I think you wouldn't expect to hear from them. But still, it was a nice add-on to the email. It was a nice way to hear from the players. And I truly believe all the things that they are saying in there. But it's funny how the timing of this, it actually came out on Thursday morning. Who knows when they actually wrote it and composed it, but the email came out on Thursday morning to season ticket holders, and that was right after the loss to Colorado and just before the loss to Arizona. And yes, it says, we're back in the hunt, and it's going to be fun to see how they measure up down the stretch. We know that they're slowly falling out of that hunt, but it's still the fact that they even made it this far to be in the hunt would be a positive for some people. Like I said, I've said before, Elias Pettersson has single-handedly sped up the rebuild by 1 or 2 years. You have Quinn Hughes coming in the next couple weeks, so there's a lot of excitement to be built around the team to look forward to over the last 5 weeks of the season. So Canucks fans, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. I'll probably cut and paste the text of this down below so you can read that as well, maybe as the first comment or whatever it may be, or at least in the video description. Let me know what you think. Did it strike a right chord for you? Do you think it had the right tone? Do you think it had the right, the right vibe to it? And would you expect anything different? Would you want them to be more honest or less honest? Or let me know what you think, what your impressions are of the message to season ticket members. And the other thing I want to talk about is, even if the Canucks do follow the playoff position or fight for a playoff spot, there are a lot of guys who are playing for contracts. And I think this is going to be something I'm going to be talking about a lot over the last 5 weeks. There's at least 8 or 9 RFAs and UFAs on this team that are playing for contracts. And we know about the Alex Edler situation. We know that he's a UFA on the blue line. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens. He didn't get traded. So will he be able to work out an extension with the team? Then there are at least five forwards who are RFAs that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And Brock Boeser heads the top of that list. What kind of deal is he going to get? Is it a bridge deal? Is it a long-term deal? There's Nikolai Goudobin, there's Marcus Granlund, there's Josh Leivo, and there's Tyler Mott. So there's at least 5 forwards there who are indeed RFAs. And I think what's fascinating about that group is with Brock Boeser especially, he's got a lot to play for in the last 16, 17 games, because if he wants to prove himself or build up his value, he'll need to play a ton of bit more consistently, maybe score a few more goals, get a few more points. But if he doesn't, then he won't have a lot of leverage, or as much leverage per se as you think he would. And then maybe the Canucks can afford to get away with a shorter deal, so to speak. So we'll see what happens there with the Brock Boeser situation. On the blue line, Ben Hutton's probably the biggest RFA we need to know about. Derek Pouliot's also an RFA. Likely not going to come back, with Quinn Hughes coming up and maybe 1 or 2 other guys, or maybe a free agent signing or a trade, whatever it may be. But I think Ben Hutton's the key there on the blue line, along with Alex Edler, who's a UFA. By the way, Luke Schen's a UFA as well, so we'll see if he does enough over the last 5 weeks of the season to warrant, a contract of some sort. And then Thatcher Demko in goal is also an RFA. Of course, we will likely sign him to an extended contract, whether it's a bridge or long-term deal. A big part of the Canucks' plans for the future in net. But yeah, so I just named Alex Edler and Luke Schenn as the UFAs, and then RFAs of Boeser, Goudobin, Mott, Granlund, Leivo, Hutton, Pouliot, and Demko. If I counted right in my head as I was saying those names, that's 8 names: 5 forwards, 2 D-men, 1 goalie as RFAs, and 2 UFAs, both D-men. It's interesting, actually, when you look at the D-men, there's no guy signed past next season. Like everyone else, Stetcher and Chris Tanev in particular, their contracts expire, whether they're UFAs or RFAs, their contracts expire at the end of the 2019-2020 season. So there's no Canucks blue liner currently extended past 2020. So all their contracts either end this year or next year, of course, depending on what kind of extensions they get. But I find that's a very fascinating thing to look at, in that the Canucks management will have a chance to retool that blue line as they desire over the next little bit. Again, none of their players are signed past 2019, 2020. Up front, it's a little different. Bo Horvat has the longest contract, another 5 years after this year, right? This is his first year of a 6-year deal. Then behind him, with 4 guys left, 3 or 4 years left on their contract. Well, I guess the easiest way to say it is after this season, Eriksson, Beagle, and I'm missing one. Roussel, all have contracts that extend for another 3 seasons after this season. So there is that, and then there's a couple guys, with 2 or 3 year contracts. But that's the big one that you want to know, is that Bo Horvat. Actually, now that I think about it, I think this is his 2nd year of his new contract. So maybe regardless, he's got 4 or 5 years after this, and then we have Eriksson, Beagle, and Roussel all are in their. They still have 3 years after this season. So my point is, I should have known that about the Horvat contract. I had a brain fart there. I can't remember. I'm sure I'll know as soon as I stop recording this video where he's at. But we know that Horvat has the longest tenure. He has the longest contract right now. Pettersson, those guys, they still have another 2 years on their contracts. But obviously there's going to be big money coming to them. But my point is, with the forwards, there a few of them, more of them, are signed more long term. It's on the D where there's the most flexibility. So Canucks fans, that's what I leave with you today. I wanted to read you the letter to season ticket holders, and I also want to start to lay the foundation for what we're going to be talking about a lot over the next, not just 5 weeks, but probably the next 3 months leading up to the draft, leading up to July 1, is what's the status of all these UFAs Edler and Shen, and all these RFAs, the biggest ones being Besser, Godolphin, Hutton, and Demko. I'm sure I'll get into prediction videos of contracts, what they're worth, what I anticipate them signing for. But for now, I want to drop those 10 names on you and say that there could be a lot of turnover with this Canucks team, especially for guys that they don't extend as RFAs. Well, hey, Canucks fans, leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to. Enjoy the day. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver. Canucks and Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow. I'll pop in with a quick video in the morning previewing the game. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.